Did you know that Medicare does not cover all of your services when it comes to healthcare? And many people are surprised by this and by these big bills. If you're not really sure what Medicare does cover versus what they don't cover. So in this video, I want to get really clear on what Medicare does not cover, some of the most important things that Medicare does not cover, so that you can avoid those surprises and plan ahead, all right? You've worked hard for Medicare. Let's now get the most out of it. Again, I'm Emily with the Medicare Coach, a leading Medicare advocate, helping people, including my parents, easily make their right Medicare decision. And this channel is purely dedicated to help you get the inside tips to both make the right decision, but to also get the most out of your Medicare benefits. So make sure you click the link below to subscribe, like my channel, and I can help you easily make your right Medicare decision and get the most out of your benefits. So in this video, I want to cover 8 of the most important or the most common things that Medicare does not cover that can be a big surprise to you once you're on Medicare, all right? Number 1 is out-of-network expenses. Now, depending on whether you joined Original Medicare or Medicare Advantage, there are different rules as to which networks you can see depending on the services that you are getting. And for that reason, before you get services, especially if they're not a medical emergency, that you understand what your network rules are on your Medicare plan so you can avoid, again, those costly surprises in the future, okay? Number 2 is Medicare does not cover all vaccinations. So Medicare Part B will cover, say, your flu vaccination, your COVID vaccination, but it does not include everything, okay? So if it's not covered by Medicare Part B, it will likely be covered underneath your drug plan. With that said, vaccinations of certain kinds on your Part D drug plan can be a couple of $100s. So please be clear before you get your vaccine, is it covered by Medicare or is it covered by your drug plan? And if so, what is the cost, okay? If it's covered by your Medicare Part B, it will likely be free for you. If it's covered under Medicare Part D, it will likely have an expense, okay? Number 3, Medicare does not cover long-term care expenses, okay? Long-term care at, say, a nursing facility is usually the care that's called custodial care, care to be bathed and fed, things like that, and that is not covered by Medicare. All right. So if you're going to a nursing home, you will likely be paying that out of your own pocket if you do not qualify for Medicaid. So again, Medicare does not cover the custodial care, which is usually what's covered underneath long-term care plans. So if you already have a long-term care plan and you're joining Medicare, maybe not cancel that plan. It can be beneficial once you're on Medicare. Okay. Number 4, and this is an odd one, but Medicare does not cover Pap smears every year. Now, Medicare does have a long list of preventative services that it does cover, but there's some things like Pap smears that aren't covered every single year, but are rather covered every other year, okay? And sometimes your doctors and their offices can get confused as well as to what Medicare does cover and how frequently. So I highly recommend that even before you get those preventative services, you get really clear on how often are they covered, so that way, again, you don't have any surprises later on when it comes to Medicare. All right. So again, if you found these questions helpful, we're just halfway through it. If you found these tips helpful, make sure you comment below and like it as well. All right. Now, number 5 that Medicare does not cover is dental. Okay. This is usually not a huge surprise, but at this point in time, Medicare, the government, does not consider dental to be medically necessary. Now, if you want dental insurance, there's plenty of other ways to get those plans and to get that coverage, but Medicare A and B do not cover dental. Yes, some Advantage plans will include dental, some supplement plans might include some dental, but there are plenty of other ways to get dental besides through Medicare Part A and B. Now, vision is a bit more tricky, which is number 6, all right? When it comes to vision, Medicare does cover medically necessary vision. Cataracts, glaucoma, macular degeneration, the big stuff Medicare does cover, as long as you get that treatment from a doctor who accepts Medicare. All right. But for other services like eyeglasses, eye exams, things of that nature, Medicare will not cover for most people. Now, some of our clients will get extra vision coverage for, say, expensive lenses, but it just depends on your situation and what your vision needs really are. All right. Number 7, hearing. Okay. Medicare will not cover hearing aids, and it's actually really hard to get any hearing aid coverage at all. And I think the main reason for that is that hearing aids are expensive. Okay. And so now if you have an issue with your ears when it comes to balance, yes, Medicare will cover that. But purely hearing aids, Medicare will not cover that at all. So be really clear, because hearing aids can get quite expensive, okay? And the final one, number 8, is overseas travel. Now, yes, Medicare will cover medical emergencies within a certain time frame of you being overseas, okay? And there are a few other exceptions as well for overseas or for international coverage, but please do not assume that Medicare is going to be covering you on your Europe trip or your Asia trip or wherever you end up going, okay? Or if you're living overseas when it comes to Medicare, Medicare will probably not be a great form of your first health insurance if you are living overseas. So these are the 8 most common expenses that we see that Medicare does not cover that can really throw you for a loop. So I hope that you found this helpful to, again, avoid those costly mistakes and get the most out of your Medicare benefits. If you found this helpful, please like it below. If you didn't find it helpful, give me a thumbs down as well. I'm looking forward to your feedback as well as your comments below. Here's to helping you easily make your right Medicare decision.